Virgo, stay with me because the deeper message is only starting to unfold now. There is another layer to this energy that wants to come through, and it's subtle at first, but once you feel it, you won't be able to unfeel it. You've been moving through life lately with a strange mix of calm and tension. On the surface, things may look stable, but inside, there's a quiet pressure building. Not anxiety, not fear exactly. It's anticipation. Your soul knows something before your mind does. And right now, your soul is ahead of you. Virgo, there is a sense here that you've outgrown a version of your life, outgrown certain roles, outgrown certain expectations, outgrown people who only knew an older version of you. And this can feel lonely, even when you're surrounded by others, because growth separates before it connects again. I see you questioning things you used to accept without thinking. You're no longer tolerating emotional confusion. You're no longer making excuses for behavior that drains you. This is maturity of the spirit. There's a strong emotional intelligence around you now. You're reading between the lines. You're noticing energy, not just words. And this is why certain connections are shifting. Some people are pulling closer to you. Others are slowly fading out, not because of drama, not because of conflict, but because the frequency is changing. Virgo, you are not becoming colder. You are becoming clearer. And clarity changes everything. There is also a strong theme of truth in this reading. Unspoken truths, delayed conversations, things that were avoided finally surfacing. This could involve a specific person, someone who feels deeply connected to you, someone who thinks about you more than they admit. I sense spiritual attraction here, a bond that goes beyond physical presence, a connection that feels familiar, even if it's complicated. This person is not interested in distractions. They are not looking elsewhere. Their focus keeps returning to you. But there is also hesitation, inner conflict, something they are dealing with privately. Virgo, this is important. This person carries something unresolved, an issue they're not fully ready to speak about yet. It doesn't mean deception, it means fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of being seen, fear of losing control. And this is where your intuition comes in. You don't need to push, you don't need to chase answers. You already feel the truth. Your role here is discernment, not sacrifice. At the same time, there is another message layered beneath this connection, a message about your life direction. I see movement, change in environment, a shift in routine. Some of you are thinking about relocating, changing homes, reorganizing your living space. Others are changing internally, which will eventually reflect externally. This is about building a life that supports your nervous system, a life that feels safe, stable, and aligned. Money and stability are also highlighted here. Not sudden chaos, but gradual improvement, consistent progress, smarter decisions, better boundaries around energy and finances. You are learning to protect your resources, your time, your focus, your emotional availability. Virgo, this is self-respect, and it's opening doors. There's an energy here of long-term security, legacy, something you're creating that will last. This could involve family, a partnership, or a project that becomes deeply meaningful to you. You are stepping into a phase where what you build now matters. Not everything needs to happen fast. Not everything needs to be forced. Slow growth is still growth. There may be moments where you feel tested, old patterns trying to resurface, old fears whispering doubts, but you are no longer powerless in those moments. You recognize them, you pause, you choose differently. That is strength. Virgo, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing anything meant for you. Everything is aligning in its own time. If this message is speaking to your heart right now, take a moment to like this video. It helps support the channel and reach other Virgos who need clarity. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Virgo so these messages continue to find you when you need them most. Now, let's go even deeper. There is a sense of emotional renewal here, a reopening of the heart. Not reckless, not naive, but conscious. You're learning how to love without losing yourself, how to care without overextending, how to connect without abandoning your needs. This is a new way of being for you. And it changes the quality of everything you touch. People will start responding to you differently. Opportunities will feel more aligned. Your intuition will sharpen even more because you are finally listening to yourself. Virgo, this phase of your life is about integration, taking everything you've learned and turning it into wisdom. You didn't go through confusion for nothing. You didn't endure disappointment for nothing. It shaped your discernment, and now the universe is responding to that. There is peace coming, not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that comes from within. A deep exhale, a sense of I'm okay now, and from that place, everything else grows. Continuing now, Virgo, without breaking the flow, without changing the energy, and staying fully inside the same reading, take a slow breath with me because the message deepens from here. There is something else unfolding beneath the surface of your life right now. Something subtle but persistent, a feeling you can't quite name, yet it follows you in quiet moments. Virgo, this is your intuition recalibrating. You are shedding an old layer of identity, not dramatically, not all at once, but piece by piece, and this process can feel strange. You may find yourself less reactive than before, less willing to explain yourself, less interested in proving your worth. This isn't withdrawal. This is self-containment. Your energy is becoming more refined. I see you choosing silence where you once would have argued, choosing distance where you once would have chased clarity, choosing peace over the illusion of control. And that is power. There is also a strong indication here that someone from your past still thinks about you, not casually, not nostalgically, deeply. This person replays conversations. They wonder what would happen if they spoke their truth. They hesitate because they sense you are no longer the same. You've changed the dynamic by changing yourself. Virgo, if you've felt someone energetically pulling at you lately, thinking about you at odd hours, dreaming of you, this is not imagined. There is unfinished emotional business here. But here is the key message for you. You are not meant to carry their confusion. You can hold compassion without reopening doors. You can acknowledge connection without sacrificing boundaries. And you are doing that now. There's also a theme of rest coming through. Not physical rest only, but nervous system rest. Your body has been holding tension for a long time, trying to stay strong, trying to stay composed. Now it wants softness, safety, slowness. Listen to that. Your clarity will increase the more you allow yourself to slow down. Financially, there is stabilization happening, not through luck, but through wiser choices. You are becoming more selective, more intentional. You're asking yourself, does this support the life I want to build? And if the answer is no, you're learning to walk away. Virgo, this is the season where long-term plans begin to matter more than short-term comfort. What you invest in now, emotionally, energetically, practically, will echo into your future. There is a sense of legacy here, of building something meaningful, something aligned, and you don't need everyone to understand it. Some people won't, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into the next chapter. I also feel a strong message around communication. Important conversations coming, truths spoken calmly but firmly. You're no longer afraid of being misunderstood. because you understand yourself, and that changes everything. Virgo, you are stepping into emotional authority. You're not asking for permission anymore. You're not waiting for validation. You're choosing what feels right. If this message continues to resonate with you, take a moment to like this video. It helps this channel reach more Virgos who need guidance right now. And don't forget to subscribe to Virgo so you stay connected to these messages as your journey unfolds. Now, let's go even deeper. There is an energetic reset happening around relationships, romantic, familial, even professional. You are renegotiating your role. No more overgiving. No more emotional labor without reciprocity. You want balance, mutual effort, emotional maturity, and the universe is responding to that request. Some connections will strengthen, others will quietly dissolve, not as punishment, but as alignment. Virgo, trust what leaves, trust what stays. There is also a sense of creative awakening here, ideas returning, motivation slowly rebuilding. You may feel inspired to start something again or to approach something old in a new way. Don't rush this. Let it come naturally. Your creativity is tied to your sense of safety. When you feel grounded, you flow, and grounding is becoming easier for you now. Emotionally, there is healing happening in layers. Old disappointments losing their charge, old memories no longer triggering the same response. This is progress. Even if it feels quiet, Virgo, you are doing better than you think. You are stronger than you realize, and you are far more intuitive than you give yourself credit for. What lies ahead is not chaos, it's clarity, not perfection, but peace. And from that place, everything else grows. I'll continue in the same flow when you're ready. Just stay with me, continuing now, Virgo, and gently bringing this reading toward its completion. Without rushing, without breaking the energy, take another slow breath, let it settle in your chest, and allow the message to land. Virgo, the final energy surrounding you is one of quiet certainty, not loud confidence, not dramatic declarations, but an inner knowing that does not shake. You are reaching a point where you no longer second guess your intuition. You may still reflect, you may still analyze, but deep down, you already know the answer. This is a powerful shift for you. There is a sense of closure coming, not necessarily through a conversation, not necessarily through an apology, but through understanding. You are realizing that some people could only meet you at the level they had met themselves, and that truth releases you. What once felt personal now feels contextual. What once hurt now makes sense. This doesn't mean you forget. It means you're no longer carrying the weight. Virgo, your heart is recalibrating. It is learning discernment without bitterness, compassion without self-betrayal. That balance is rare, and you are mastering it. I also see you stepping into a new rhythm with life. Your days becoming more intentional, your choices more aligned. You're learning when to say yes and when to pause, and that pause is sacred because in that space, you hear yourself again. There is something ahead of you that will feel surprisingly easy. Not because it lacks importance, but because you are finally aligned with it. Effort without resistance, movement without force. That is what you are moving toward. In love, this marks a turning point. Whether you are partnered or single, the way you approach connection is changing. You no longer chase clarity. You attract honesty. You no longer tolerate confusion. You invite stability. And if someone cannot meet you there, you are finally okay with letting them go. That is emotional maturity, Virgo. Financially and professionally, your patience begins to pay off. Small, consistent steps, better boundaries, clearer priorities. You are building something sustainable, not something that drains you. And the universe is supporting that. Spiritually, this is a grounding phase. Less searching outside, more listening within. You don't need constant signs anymore. You are becoming the sign. Virgo, this chapter is about self-trust. Trusting your timing, trusting your decisions, trusting that walking away was not failure. It was alignment. As we close this reading, know this: you are not behind, you are not lost, you are not broken, you are integrating. And what comes next will meet you where you truly are, not where you used to be. If this reading resonated with you, take a moment to like this video. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more Virgos who need this message. Subscribe to Virgo for continued guidance, clarity, and grounded spiritual insight. And feel free to share in the comments what part of this message spoke to your heart. Until next time, Virgo, stay grounded, stay intuitive, and trust your path.